Hello, everyone. Welcome to Fair Life with Andrew McKee. My name is Flynn. No, I'm kidding. It's actually Andrew McKee. Just, yeah, when I first started doing Celtic music, I thought, well, maybe I should do a stage name and change it and do something like that. But I thought, my name is Andrew McKee. Why do I need a stage name? So, Andrew McKee it is. So, hey, welcome to another episode, because this has just been, what a week, right? And I wow, what a relaxing week, because it was a bit stressful in weeks past, but we kind of made it through. And hello, everyone. Janine, Alicia, Susan, Kristen. Wow. Uh, and apparently who has had a day. Sorry to hear that, Kristen. Uh, oh, and Drew is right. Stage names are tricky, particularly at first. And I was happy I didn't have to do that. I'm sure in some situations it's very important. And oh, hey, Kathy. So but no, I definitely went with my own name, and I'm kind of glad I did. And luckily, I was in a situation where it was okay to do that, so not too bad. So yeah, I'm sure some of you are, I guessing that you might be curious about my shirt. So because we talk about that, so yes, it's a nice little. It's fine. Everything is fine, because yeah, that's yeah, that is. Oh, right. And we have a trivia question coming up. Uh, what was Lee's stage name? I know. But I'm biased because I remember I was there. Oh, wow. Pink eye on a goat. Kristen is saying that she's had a bad day because of broken RV toilet and pink eye on a goat and goat head stuck in fence. Is it just me, or does that sound like pretty good punk band names? Pink eye on a goat. I mean, you tell me, because I'm thinking punk band. I'm actually a really good punk band name. I think Pink Eye on a Goat. Yeah, just saying. I'm just saying. But hang in there, Kristen. I know we all have those days. And thank you, Kristen, for getting my shirt reference from the Oregon Trail, the classic game that is older than I think all of us who are, or at least most of us who are on this chat. It's older than most people think, because it started out as a text adventure game on mainframes back long before. So long before video games were normally a thing. And yeah, I'll leave it up to Lee to answer the trivia question, because I really shouldn't. I really shouldn't. Okay, and Drew has several different names, but I totally understand. Yeah, I've always been Andrew McKee. I've never had a different stage name. Or different name, I guess, that I use. In some ways, that's kind of nice, and sometimes might be kind of nice to hide behind a different name. But yeah, wow, wow, okay. Oh, she did actually tell us. Okay. Um, oh, right, I forgot. I totally forgot about a Princess Adorabelle. Okay, yeah, totally spaced on that. I remembered Saphira, but that is right. So always nice to have one of those trivia questions on the show, right? Got to have those. Yes. But okay, let's see. A lot of cool stuff going on. Let's jump right into it, because that's why we're here. I guess first of all, yeah, I last week was pretty awesome. I mean, not just because now everything's fine based on the whole the transition in Washington, and now we can stop looking at the news every 5 seconds to see if anything's changed for the worse or the better or whatever. but but yeah, for we had the sing along for last Thursday's show, and that was a lot of work. I'm not gonna lie. I learned a lot about the process of how to make the bouncing ball go and to do some cool stuff. And if you watched it, you may have noticed that each song, the ball acted very differently. I tried a lot of different ideas, and I tried to kind of treat the ball like its own animated character to go with the song. I'm not sure if that was a good idea. Maybe you think it wasn't, and you'd like to see it more consistent throughout. But I'd really love feedback on it for those of you who saw it. Oh, and thank you, Kristen, for saying that. She's saying I did an excellent job. and I still get a blue ribbon. Thank you. Thank you. But yeah, no, it was, oh, and Susan says it was awesome. Thank you. It was interesting. I, the other interesting thing was it was a very short show. And I'm kind of curious if that was better or worse. We've never had a show that was that short before, at least not intentionally. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. It might be longer next time. It might be the same length. I'm kind of curious. Is a shorter show with just a few songs kind of what you want, just a quick fix, or is something longer better? Uh, and Alicia on the character of the bouncing ball. Funny, funny. but yeah, if you thought anything else about it, I'd love to hear what themes you might like for the future. Um, oh, Kristen says she could have stood for one more song. Okay, that's good to know. So maybe taking it up to 4 or 5 songs would be about the right length, maybe, because we only did 3, and I honestly was expecting it to be a little longer, but then one of the songs I realized after I started was a lot shorter than I remembered. So it kind of went, oh, this is going to be a few minutes short. Uh, but yeah, adding another song, so maybe 4, maybe 5, um, that could work. That could work. But yeah, I'd be curious about themes because uh, this one was, of course, sea shanties, which a lot of fun. Are there any themes that you would like to see us do for sing-alongs? I mean, it could be body songs, it could be drinking songs, it could be more like Irish or Scottish songs or Celtic songs in general, or anything at all. Just anything that you would like. So, yeah, let me know. An alcoholic or non-alcoholic version. I assume you're not talking about the songs, because having an alcoholic version of a song and a non-alcoholic version of a song, actually, that could be funny. I'm going to work on that. That's an interesting song idea. I like that. Hold on. I'm going to write that down because that is good. I like that. That's very good. Having an alcoholic and a non-alcoholic version of a song. Yeah, I like it. I like it. That's going in. And yeah, themes, please. Uh, oh, a pub crawl? Okay. That's an interesting idea. Yeah, I mean, just kind of, yeah, throw out whatever themes you might be interested in. And if you do, this is the location where we hear you, and it's probably going to be your suggestions that we use. This is the feedback show. This is where we get those ideas from you, and we actually listen and use them. I know, Alicia, that's what I'm thinking about. Exactly, right? Doing that. She said non-alcoholic version of something like Old and Cow. Exactly. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Just to kind of do the do the Prohibition era McIntyre. Okay, I wrote it down too, Lee. So we're good. We're solid. That's happening because we are. I'm thinking about this. Yeah, I don't think it's quite the same with the whole cat version of the song. Not quite the vibe I'm going with. So, yeah. We'll work on that. But no, this is great. So okay. Any other themes that you're thinking of? Well, I mean, throw them in if you have any ideas during the show, because we are definitely, well, as they're saying, we're taking notes. Always a good thing. So yeah, sing-alongs in the future. I'm pretty sure because of the response we had from that, we are going to have more. So, and if you didn't see it, please go back and watch it. Like I said, it's a short show, just a bit over 10 minutes. So check it out. Give it a quick look and listen and follow along and sing along. And okay, and I guess we're probably looking at about 15 to 20 minutes in the future, maybe 22, something like that. Yeah, right. When it makes a post-it note and Andrew's notes, yeah, it's a big deal. Okay. Okay. Interesting. Holding up a McIntyre on the thing. That's great. Uh, and yes, yay, more sing-alongs. So we are going to do that. Uh, so yeah, excellent. Well, okay. That was last week, and a lot of fun there. And the last week's Shakespeare reviews was Love's Labor's Lost, and yeah, um, it check it out if you haven't seen it. I was not much of a fan, honestly. I had some serious issues with it, but it's an interesting show, so check it out, and we will we will rail heavily on why we didn't like Love's Labor's Lost. Dan liked it more than I did, but yeah, check it out. Good episode, and for the next Shakespeare Reviews episode, that's going to be this Friday. It's going to be my movie version of my favorite Shakespeare play of all time, which is Twelfth Night. Now I know Twelfth Night, not necessarily the obvious favorite Shakespeare play. I'm not saying it's the best, but it's my personal favorite, which is okay, perfectly valid. Uh, yeah, that's exactly it. So I'm asking you, what are your favorite Shakespeare plays? Go ahead and just throw that out. I'm curious because mine is Twelfth Night. If you have one, throw it out. I'd love to see it. But Twelfth Night, we're reviewing the 1996 version that was done with Ben Kingsley and Helena Bonham Carter. So yeah, definitely it's a good version. And I think we had a lot of fun with the review, and I think it's a good review. So look forward to that, and that will be coming up on Friday. Oh, good. Hamlet from Kathy. Excellent. Now, that, of course, is one of the standards. Most people would put that in the top 5, top 3, usually, easily, for Shakespeare plays. And certainly one of the most heralded lead roles in Shakespeare, most definitely. Oh, and Chris is asking if the Brobdingnagian Bards will be at the Forest this year at Sherwood. Probably, but we should be as of now. But let's, yeah, it's still kind of everything's still up in the air with COVID and all of that. So we'll see. But right now, the plan is that we will. Oh, Coriolanus? Excellent, Alacia. No, there's nothing wrong with Coriolanus. I've actually seen that play performed on stage, and it's a good play. It's not a horrible story. It's not, I mean, it's not considered the best, but it can be interesting. And yeah, so perfectly valid. I mean, you're not claiming what you think the best Shakespeare play is. It's just what your personal favorite is. Oh man, the comments are flying here. Uh, oh, Lee, you're not supposed to admit that. She says real Andrew is no different from on-screen Andrew. Yeah, and it's true. It's true. I'm pretty much like this all the time. This is me. Yeah, the first year I did Faire, I did actually try to do a bit of a persona. Not many people remember this or know this. I think Drew does. He might remember it a little bit. But early on, the first year, okay, this is going to be a huge admission here. So this is Andrew Unplugged. So, okay. The first year I did Faire, I dyed my hair blonde. Yeah, I did. It was just one of those, hey, let's do Faire. And I thought, well, let's go crazy. What can I do? And I figured I would just do that. And I dyed my hair blonde. And some of the early pictures of me for the first 6 months or so of performing, I had blonde hair. So yeah, and I put on a bit of an Irish accent for the first Faire I did only. That was Excalibur, their first year. And yeah, I got over that pretty quick because, yeah. Oh, Drew does remember. They're good. Yeah, I knew he would. Because yeah, it was different. And I put on the Irish accent. I would talk. I tried to put on a persona because that's what most people at Faire did, and I would just go like, "Oh, well, yeah, I'm Andrew McKee. So yeah, what'd you like to hear today?" We'll just play some music and it'll be great. And I'd talk like that. And, you know, for me, it was no problem. Irish accent was fine. But I, I started playing music outside of Faire at pubs and that kind of thing. And people from the Faire would come out and see me. And I was kind of like, gosh, do I do the accent here? This is weird. And it started getting confusing. And I don't really want to go the dual personality route if I can help it. So I just kind of started being myself and everybody seemed happy. So I went with it. So, uh, oh gosh, you want the Texas one? Yeah, I did for Alicia, I did do a Texas accent. But that's not really fair because there are lots of Texas accents. I mean, you can't really, there's not one. Texas is huge. I mean, you get the West Texas, the Northeast Texas, you know, the South Texas. I mean, but I mean, you can also just do general Southern. So it's not really, yeah. So I'm not going to do the Texas one because yeah, that's just too weird. But yes. And Susan says her Irish accent always sounds like she's lost her Lucky Charms. Uh, you know, I actually can't do that accent very well, the Lucky Charms commercial accent. It just doesn't really, it's too over the top for me. I don't really, yeah, I can't do it. It's kind of weird. Um, hmm. Rio Grande Valley. Nice, nice. And, you know, it's funny you should mention that, Drew, because interesting. After Twelfth Night, the movie for Shakespeare Reviews is Romeo and Juliet, a great animated movie from 2011. I really like it, so check that out. But the one after that, and I'm going to go ahead and just announce it. I wasn't going to, but since we brought it up, is The King of Texas with Patrick Stewart from 2002, where it's a version of King Lear set in 1840s Texas. So kind of interesting. Oh, I mean, yeah, Alicia says she convinces people that she's Southern constantly due to code switching. And oh, and Kristen says, if I try Irish, it slides into pirate and then Jamaican. Interesting. Yeah, for me, I tend to pick up accents if I listen to an accent for too long. I remember when I was younger, I had a regular day job and I went in and talked to somebody for the first time there and they asked me how long I'd been in the country. And I had to stop for a second and figure out what they were talking about. And then it hit me. The previous night, I'd had a Monty Python marathon and watched 3 Monty Python movies back to back. And then I came in and I sounded somewhat British. It was just slight, but they caught it and they just figured, oh, he must have been in the country for just a little while, so it's slipping, but he's definitely British. So I guess I just kind of pick them up if I concentrate. Yeah. Really? You're digging, you're researching now, Lee, and going through the Broad Game Bards page. Yeah, okay. There are some blondish. I don't know. I'll have to look for some really good blonde pics of me. I'll see. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, Drew is good that way. Drew is good that way. He can get those announcements out. But, you know, we're old school. When I first started doing fairs, I met Drew about the same time. So, yeah. He's one of those, like Drew, the Bedlam Bards. Those were some of my early influences with performers. So, yeah. Oh my gosh. And now you're showing pictures? That's not right. That's not right. Okay, now I've got to go and look at the picture so I can comment on it. Really suck. Okay. Oh yeah, that's not even blonde. That's old school, but that's not, yeah, that's not even blonde. That would have been, let's see, yeah, that's the bookstore. I think that's the second year I was doing music around there. Yeah, that's the PA system. Yeah, that would be the second year I was doing music, I think, around then. Oh, man. Wow. Yeah, yeah. Okay. This is a weird trip down memory lane I wasn't expecting today. So, well, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Oh my, we're going with more picks? This is going to turn into a thing, isn't it? Oh, mercy. Okay. Okay. Well, that's what I get. That is what I get. So topic change. Yeah, let's do that. Topic change. Oh, I got something great in the mail today, as a matter of fact. I got a, let's see. Woohoo! I don't know if you can see this. Yeah, there you go. An ornament from Arcif. They sent this to me as a thank you for the really cool show, that the benefit show we did last year for them, and it was also yeah, it was really cool. We had a lot of fun with that, and Arcif is a really good cause. It was a good comedy show, and it was one of the most difficult shows I've done with Life's a Faire. Just getting, oh gosh, how many videos did we have? Something like 25, and yeah, I really, that was getting all those videos lined up, and it was an interesting challenge, but we did it, and it was a good experience. Learned a lot from the process, and I think it was a really good show. So yeah, yeah. Uh, why am I commenting here? I'm just prolonging this, but I feel compelled. Yeah, the only real blonde pics that you're going to find are probably from Excalibur from 1999, and maybe there were some press photos we took around that time, early on. I think in May or something of that year, where I was still very blonde, and that's about it. And I don't know if they're really out there that much. I'll have to take a look. Oh, right, yeah. Leah's totally correct. Arcif, they have a lot of good information for not, well, I mean, for performers, people at Faire, but also just self-employed people in general. So yeah, very good stuff, tax info and everything. And yeah, Drew is right. Excal photos are hard to come by. The first year especially. I have a few, but not many. Not many. Oh goodness, what are we going here? More. Okay, that, I don't know if I have an excuse for that. That was another hair mistake. I decided to try growing my hair out, and yeah, it was just on a whim, like, let's just try it, because I never had. When I was 3 years old, I had curly red hair, and I remember that, but I thought, I don't know, let's give it a shot and see what happens. And yeah, it went ultra curly. I had hobbit hair. That's literally what it was. It was freaking hobbit hair. Really bad. I mean, it was natural hobbit hair. I did not have to do anything with it. So, I mean, I kept it for a little while, and then was finally, done. I think I thought I'd kind of carry it through Dragon Con, and then after that, cut. Don't want it anymore. Well, thanks, Kristen, for appreciating the long curly hair. But yeah, I'm definitely, I mean, like right now, this is way too long. It's time to get another haircut, because yeah, I like it short. It's really, yeah, a lot easier to deal with. Oh, mercy. You know, red hair, curly. I think there's only one picture of me with red curly hair, and I don't really know if I have access to it. I don't know if I have it. And yeah. Oh, and yeah, I want to go ahead and say hello to people on YouTube too, because I'm getting some comments in there. The Bard Renard over there. Hello. Excellent. Yeah, mop top Andrew. I don't know. It's yeah. Let's just move away from hair. I'm kind of yeah, yeah. I'm with Janine on the low maintenance hairstyles. Um, oh yeah, I've got clippers, Janine. So I'll just I've gotten pretty good at it. Ouch, Susan. Ooh, ouch, ouch. Oh, bloody hell. Drew, really? 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 You wouldn't. Oh, yes, you totally would. Um, okay, okay, well, whatever you want to do. Moving on. So, back to distractions of anything else. Um, yeah, yeah. I guess if you haven't seen the RC comedy show, go check that out. It was a fun show and pretty long, but yeah, very silly. So a lot of performers just went in and did some silly, goofy stuff, and wow. Uh, so yeah, let's go ahead and say that. Oh yeah, gathering a fair this Friday too. I should talk about that. Or Thursday. Yeah, this Thursday. Now you've really distracted me. Uh, so yeah, gathering a fair this Thursday is Drunk and Disorderly. Now and that's the name of the group, not the theme. At least might be the theme too, but no, it's the group Drunk and Disorderly. And they haven't been on Life's a Fair before, but I had seen them a bit before, and they joined me on the New Year's Eve show that I did, and that was a lot of fun, and got to hang out backstage with them a little bit in the video chats, and really really cool people. So definitely wanted them for gathering on Life's a Fair and talk to them, and they were all for it. So I'm glad we got them on here. Should be a lot of fun. Yeah, so look for that this Thursday. Oh my goodness. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, Carrie is old school too. So yes, that is true. Thanks, guys. Thanks. Y'all. I thank you for your support. Y'all are really great. Wonderful, wonderful. Yeah, yeah. Drunken Disorderly are on Shakespeare's Shameless Self Promotion Coffee Hour a good bit. That is true. Wow, crazy people. Okay. Ah, mercy. So here we go. Oh, and I did want to go ahead and throw out the fact that just to remind you that we are on a podcast hiatus. We are still reorganizing everything, so it won't be too much longer. I mean, a few more weeks, but we are really the we are reorganizing, and we just had a meeting about it today, and it was wow, fabulous. I can't even the the way we're organizing everything, and we're working on themes for the season for the podcasts. Um, oh my gosh, it's going to be great. I'm really happy. Um, really happy about it. So I think you're gonna like it too. So look forward for the new season of the Life's a Fair podcast. It's going to be really something special. hmm. Oh mercy. Oh oh mercy. And Alicia's the one who does the show description. So yeah, I'm yeah, I'm pretty much in trouble here. So okay. Uh oh yeah, and Lisa, she's in love with the new podcast season themes, and so am I. Yeah, we are. It's hard. I don't know. It's hard to explain what all is going on in the background without going into like a hour-long meeting here. And I suffice it to say, we're using new software, new organizational structures. We're having meetings all the time, and it is. We're looking at bringing in new people, and it is just amazing what is going on. uh, this is Life's Affair is just growing leaps and bounds, and this is going to be um, an insane growth year. Where last year, Lee and I and Alicia towards the second half really just went crazy and put as much as we could into it with the few people we had and the limited time we had. And now all our work just feels like it's paid off. So I'm really happy about that. Oh, really? Kristen will punch anyone who makes me cry? Well, I just want to say that um, I consider myself The luckiest bard on the face of the earth. Sorry, I can't do it. I'm not that good of an actor. I tried. Ah. The videos? Oh, bloody hell. Oh, wow, yeah. Thank you, thank you. The Everything is Filk podcast. Yeah, that's a podcast I do for DragonCon, and that involves Filk music. But yeah, that's a lot of fun too. And hopefully DragonCon will happen in the fall. We shall see. Yeah, right. The Oscar. Oh man. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I don't know. We'll see what our future holds there. I don't think I'm quite Oscar worthy, but we'll see. Oh, the Jakeem videos. Oh, you're asking me if I've seen them. Oh, I have. Yeah. I've already got the videos for Drew's show coming up, the Joaquin videos, and it's really good. That's going to be the show next week on Thursday, and yeah, it's all. Yeah, I guess I didn't tell you, Drew, but yeah, it's all edited, ready to go. Like I said, we're ahead of the game. You know, the last year I was sometimes editing videos and trying to get it together the day of the show and doing the final render, and with 20 minutes before the show started, I had it, and then I would play it. It was nuts. Now it's like, oh yeah, next week's show already done. Yeah, so no problem. But yeah, it's good. It's good. But yeah, it's not just the raw videos. It is all edited and mastered and ready to go. Now, the one thing you're going to be interested in that show is there's a little recorder playing in there. Yeah. And he does a really good job. I was surprised. I was like, oh, he's playing recorder. What the? And not bad. So kudos. Something to look out for. Oh, well, don't worry, Jan. If a worship meeting, you can always watch the repeat. It's fine. I understand. We appreciate seeing you when we can. Yeah. You are right, Lee. Yeah, sometimes it was right before we went live. I always knew I could make it, but sometimes it cut very close, and there were a few times. If you ever noticed last year when gathering was a little late, like it started 7:05 or 7:08, that was usually why. Yeah, that was why. It was sometimes there were problems just connecting to YouTube and Facebook and getting it split properly, and there was a glitch, and I had to reset everything and make it work. But now the setup is a lot better and a lot more straightforward, so that's kind of nice. It's a lot easier now. Wow, recorder guy? That's what I get? Recorder guy? Ouch. I don't know how I feel about recorder guy. Oh, the missus says, oh, I so miss Amanda. That's just, yeah, always really cool. I haven't seen her in forever, because yeah, they were they were one of those cool Faire couples I met when I first started going out to Faire. It was really cool. Yeah, and that's true. And all this time we've only had the feed go down once, and I'm so happy about that. Yeah, and I learned a lot from that experience. It was one of those, I get what the mistake was, and it never repeated, and that's the trick. And you learn. Yeah, like for instance, in the last video of just for a short period of time on the RC benefit, the sound cut out, and I discovered what the problem was, and now it'll never be repeated. And they're just a few little weird things when you do something new that in a certain circumstance a problem can happen, but you get used to it. And it's still on my list. I still would like to do some tutorial videos on how to run a OBS stream and do it right from top to bottom. Just how to do it. I think people would really like that. But now, because of this reorganization we have going around, I think I'll have time to actually pull off some of this, because before, time was tough. But now it's looking more promising. Strings and whistles does have a nice ring to it. No, I can play the Irish tin whistle and penny whistle, but yeah, I don't, because, okay, the gist is it's not chromatic. Penny whistles and tin whistles are in one key. You play that key. Everything you play is in that key. Same with bagpipes. You're limited to that key. And the problem with that is, if there are some songs that do not work in certain keys, and some songs that won't work, that don't sound good, but actually will not work. Jazz is a good example. You cannot play on that type of instrument easily. Yeah, it's not good. And I like flexibility. So the recorder was just an obvious route to go. Yeah, yeah. Huh. Ah, 10 strings and a goat skin, a band. Okay, well, um, yeah, 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 yeah. That's yeah. Okay, yeah. Jeannie's asking if about chromatic. What chromatic means is you can play any note, any sharp, flat, through the whole scale, uh, A to G, all sharps and flats. So that's what chromatic means. If it's in one key, it can only play uh, those those notes that are in that key. Like if it was in C, it could play A, B, C, D, E, F, G. That's it. It's you'd have to try to rig something like half hole it to try to get like a C sharp or a B flat or something out of it. It wouldn't really. It You can kind of do it by half holing, but it doesn't usually work very well. So it's just, I don't like that flexibility. So that's one of the reasons I like the recorder, and it's fairly neutral instrument, especially if you get the plastic ones. The wooden ones have a little bit of an earthy tone, where the tin whistles have more of a metallic tone, but the plastic recorders actually have a fairly neutral tone. And because of that, I feel like you can play any song and it's passable. You can play jazz and it sounds okay. You can play pop music, or you can play classical or whatever, and it's acceptable because of that neutrality. The tone of it doesn't get in the way and make people say, "Oh, that's not right." If that makes sense to anyone. Ah. So yeah, and to be fair, I've been working. I need to get back to working on that. I was working on a recorder bagpipe, and I really need to jump back into that project. Maybe this year I can finish that. That would be wonderful. Because yeah, I think it would be a lot of fun to have a recorder bagpipe. Bagpipes that don't sound like bagpipes, sound more like a recorder concert, and I think that would be cool. So I'll work on that. Yeah, yeah, and Hannah does a great job. Hannah from Langer's Ball, playing the whistle, but it does have a very distinct metallic tone, and that's the thing. It certainly works. So yeah. Oh gosh, it's already 7:41. Well, gosh, I don't know if I really have time for 7 reasons. So maybe I should skip it today. I mean, what do you think? Just not really worry about it. I mean, we can just keep talking for a while, and another 15 minutes, and then call it there. Cause yeah, yeah. Oh, Janine, no, no, no. It's I'm not even talking about that. No, no. It's one of those where you have the recorder for the chanter, and then you have several recorders for the drones. Oh, it's a full bagpipe. Thank you very much. You blow into the bag, and the air from the bag comes out of the chanter, the recorder, and then you have recorder drones, which are all in a particular key. Oh, yeah. This is a thing. This is a thing. Oh, okay. We really need to We really need to do the 7 reasons? Throw bread? What is this, Les Miserables? Okay, okay, fine, Kristen. Okay, fine. We can do that. We can do that. It's still good. It's still good. Yeah, let's see. 7 reasons. Yes, here we go. 7 reasons. Yay! There you go. Wow. Somebody had a bad day and is demanding, and her name is Kristen. Wow, and Bard Renard on YouTube is yelling the same thing. Okay, fine. Okay, 7 reasons. What's 7 reasons? Okay. How about this? 7 reasons that I wish things from Faire existed, regularly in the real world. Like, things at Faire that were outside of Faire that could be into everyday life. Whew, that was a close one. Thanks, Kristen. She's intimidating, right? Oh my gosh. Whew. So let's see. What were the 7 reasons? I don't even remember now. Oh yeah, I wish things from Faire existed regularly in the real world. So these 7 reasons. So let's see. Number 7. All arguments are solved by King of the Log. Now, wouldn't that be awesome? If you had an argument with somebody, instead of yelling or chewing each other out, just said, okay, King of the Log. Wouldn't that have been better in the last several weeks? Think about it. Might have been a little better. Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. Number 6. Belts and pouches. Come on. Belts and pouches? Pouches are like better than everything else in the world. It's like what fanny packs tried to be and failed miserably. Oh my gosh, miserably. So yeah, and for women, I think pouches are so much better than purses, right? You've got to love that affair, right? Don't you love pouches? So yeah. Definitely. I think belts and pouches, definitely a plus. And I just love to wear that all the time. I think it'd be so great just to have a belt and pouch and have it be socially acceptable, without people looking at you like you're about to rob them, like Robin Hood or something. So okay, number 5. Corsets are good for your back. Okay, a little trivia. If you have a back problem and you go to the doctor, what do? They say, okay, put this on and wear that for a while and it'll help your back. And what is it? It's kind of a corset. That's it. It's actually good for posture. Who knew? So not necessarily something that would be as easy for me to wear, but for y'all, for some of you out there, since I'm outnumbered and I'm trying to, do something for y'all, hey, something that you can use. So definitely a good option. So yeah, although I have seen corsets make a bit of a comeback in the regular world here and there of late, but we'll see. Number 4, handmade quality. Let's be honest. Look at the quality of the products you buy now and tell me that handmade might not be a little better. Really? Things aren't made to last anymore. They're made on an assembly line and they use the cheapest parts they feel they can get away with it, the stuff that won't last. Yeah, and it's take it from a computer tech, the soldering joints, not so good. So yeah, I really have to say handmade quality, I really wish that was common outside of Faire. And sometimes it's not even as common in Faire, which bothers me, but I think for the best fairs and the best shops, that handmade quality is the best. Fair enough. And Alicia, shut your mouth, you. Okay. Number 3. Okay. The right to bear arms if they are peace tied. I feel a lot more comfortable with people, I'm in Texas, so I feel a little more comfortable with people all weaponed up if they're peace tied, where they get really upset and passionate and they don't immediately have that option to go to town. But if their Second Amendment right was in danger and they were just kind of saying, oh, something's going down, I need to be ready, they can, okay, we can do something here and get it ready and I've got it available and we're good to go. Yeah, peace tied, not a bad idea, right? Maybe it's just me. But okay, Just throwing that out. Okay, number 2. You can change characters each day. I mean, yeah, if you want to be a pirate that day, dress like a pirate, you're a pirate. No problem. You want to, you want to be a knight? Okay, no problem. You want to be a warrior princess? Do it. You got that. I mean, anything you want, you can just dress and you're that, and people will treat you that way. It doesn't work like that in the real world, unfortunately. The whole concept of dress for success is there, but only in a narrow focus of if you're dressing like this, great. If you're dressing like anything else, like you want to, you're a freak. And I hate that. So yes. Oh my gosh, we're going into makeup tutorials from Paulo. I really need to think ahead of time about my lists in the future, I think, because really, that was kind of predictable now that I think about it. Okay. And number 1, and this is the big one. This is the big one indeed. A sense of community. That seems lost outside of Faire. I mean, really, I grew up in the suburbs, and as a kid, I remember the tail end of the suburbs being a little bit about community, and they're not really anymore. You don't really know your neighbors, you don't really hang out anymore, and that's a shame. What happened to the block parties, all that kind of thing? I don't know. Wow. And Kristen says that she wore her large elf ears to a Catholic wedding in a cathedral once. Not bad. Not bad. When I went to Catholic school, I went the other way and played music for the services and all that. That was my way of hiding, because if I had to be there, I might as well have fun with music. I'm not Catholic. I never have been. I went to Catholic school for 6 years, but I've never been Catholic. So that was sort of my way of getting through some of that. It was definitely interesting. So yeah, Faire, and Lee is totally right. Faire is like one big block party. So you get that, and that sense of community, I think, is, I wish it existed more outside of Faire. And, maybe all of us can make that happen a little bit if we try, and maybe we should. So yeah, think about that a little bit and see what you can do for the future. But for now, as soon as Faire starts again, hopefully we'll have that again at Faire, and I look forward to it. So okay, your 7 reasons why I wish things from Faire existed regularly in the real world. Here you go. So there you go, Kristen. Thank you for not hurting me. Wow, okay. Tattoos in church? Well, that's not as uncommon anymore as it used to be, I would think. Yeah, people are a lot more understanding now, I think, with that than they were when even just a couple of decades ago. Yeah. And I think Kathy's right. When you return each year, it feels like you're home. And that's one of the things Faire is. And that's one of the, honestly, Kathy, that's one of the main reasons Lee and I started Life's a Faire. Because that's what we wanted. We wanted to have that, at least in some way, online, however we could. You're not going to recreate Faire online, and some people tried, and not necessarily a good idea, but because you can't. But we wanted to at least have that feeling of a place like that. Okay. So yeah, and it's only what, 7:50 or so, 7:50. So under the wire. Whew. And Kristen, for those of you who haven't been to Sherwood, Kristen's totally right. Sherwood Forest Fair is an amazing community. I mean, there are plenty of other amazing communities, but Sherwood is definitely up there. They really focused on, well, I mean, not just performer community, but patron community into a very big way. Fairs always approach that type of patron community in different ways. Some of it I think is very effective, and some maybe not so much. But sometimes it's hard when you don't have camping as an option, or you can't hang out that way. So you kind of have to go with what you can do. But yeah, I mean, it's a lot easier to have that feeling of community when you have camping and you can go out and, or even just not camp, but stay late. And then, um, Faire doesn't close completely uh, when you walk out the gate. You can still have some fun in the campgrounds for a while. So yeah, yeah. Uh, I never really got to do as much of that as you would think when I was a performer and when I camped out there because, well, I mean, I had to wake up the next morning really early and be at 100%. I couldn't stay up till 2 and party and then, kind of make it through that week. And then I was okay because I I couldn't get sick because I needed to do it again the following weekend and the weekend after that and the weekend after that. You have to take care of yourself when you do that. It's important. So I didn't get to party like some people did, but it was still a nice community. Um, but yeah, definitely. So yeah, I mean, I don't know if any of you like any other communities at different fairs. Any other fairs that y'all really appreciate? But yeah, let me know. I'd be curious. And don't worry about that, Alacia, if one of your tattoos is in Latin. Most most people in church don't speak Latin. The only one you have to worry about are the priests. Yay! Oh, and Kristen is right because this is her first year on cast. That's going to be a transition. You see, yeah, I mean, certainly I went to Faire before, but only for the day. I never camped before I was a performer there. So I kind of missed out on a lot of that. And you kind of have to make that transition. You're right. That is going to be an interesting transition to go from patron to performer uh, to cast. Yeah, that is going to be interesting. Hmm. uh, Yeah, and TRF, they certainly, Texas Renaissance Festival is what Drew is talking about. But they certainly did have an amazing camping experience even back in the day. I mean, it was all about the camping at TRF for a lot of years, as I remember. Drew might disagree, but um, yeah, I think that was definitely interesting. I was surprised by the the huge number of campers at TRF, and this was back 20 years ago. It just boggled my mind. Um, yeah, it's pretty nuts. And they would really. I don't think they're quite as rowdy now as they were then, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Uh, and yeah, I think Louisiana Ren Fair definitely has a pretty cool vibe and a really good camping atmosphere. So that's kind of nice. And Norman, yeah, I've always heard great things about Norman. I totally agree with you, Liz. Norman is, uh, yeah, it's an interesting fair because it's very different than a lot of fairs, but at the same time, I very rarely have heard anything negative about Norman. It's always with great fondness. So yeah, I see what you mean there. Um, yeah, participant was interesting. Patron at TRF, Drew's talking about the difference between patron camp and participant camp. Um, when I first started going to TRF the first year, some people convinced me to go out to um, patron camp. And that was an experience. And I was kind of like, we really need to go to sleep because that was turning into a crazy late night party. And I learned that lesson quick. You have to. And that's the thing. If you're going to be a professional performer, the whole partying all night thing has to go immediately, or you can't do a solid year of it. You can't go on tour and party all night. I mean, true professional rock stars and all that, they can't maintain that. Well, not without a lot of drugs, but that's, and even then they're going to crash at some point. So that's, you do get performers who learn that lesson and they take it very seriously, and they're usually the more successful ones. Mm. Oh, really? Kristen says TRF camping nowadays is terrifying. That's interesting. Hmm. Yeah, I have not been to TRF in several years. I've been meaning to go back and check it out because, yeah, I haven't. I've always had other things I was doing, so I couldn't make it. But I need to go back and check it out. Right. Um, yeah, TRF patron camping, it may be because it is huge and a bit crazy. And I just remember the drums. Oh, the drums. All night long. The drums. Yeah. Participant camping is far enough away you can, get in, and they're always split up into separate areas, so that makes it a little easier. Okay, okay. Yeah, and Drew, I remember that participant camping has a 10 p.m. lights out and 11 p.m. quiet time. And honestly, it was very rare I was not in bed by 10 because you get tired. I mean, TRF, that's a big fair, a lot of walking, and you do a lot of work. And, uh, I learned early on that the best way to do fair is to just start and you don't really do much of a break. You just play all day. I mean, and it is exhausting, but it's a lot of fun. And it's kind of like you're always in front of people, so it's kind of like being on stage for you know, wow, 10 straight hours and doing a 10-hour show, and that's kind of how I always felt about it. I no complaints. It's just that's kind of how it is. Mm. Yeah, yeah. Um, oh yeah, I think this fall things might start being okay, where it's not so much of a I'm not sure thing. We'll see, but I'm hoping that'll be the case. So hopefully LARF this fall will be okay, Kristen. So yeah, if you do plan on going, yeah, let us all know. Okay. Right, breaks, right? Yes. Yeah. If you've seen me at Sherwood, you know that I I usually have somewhere between 14, 15 things I do each. I set myself up as a schedule during the day, and I try to make sure I have a good 30 to 45 minutes to eat in there, and that's about it. I don't get much of a break. I'm always just going from place to place, and a lot of it is not even self-serving. Well, not exactly. I mean, I have fun doing it, but a lot of it is just playing music for the maypole, because I noticed they didn't have music, and that's just depressing. You have a maypole without music, can't have that. So yeah, I volunteered and played for that, and I play for the ferry picnic and do all these things, and it's I have fun, and it's otherwise I'd just be sitting down twiddling my thumbs, and that never made sense to me. I did look at busking years ago, but Sherwood is not a great busking fair because there aren't really any choke points, not many anyway. It's so open, like a forest, Sherwood Forest Fair, that busking is, yeah, it doesn't quite work that well. There are a few people that do it, but not many. And it's you kind of have to have a special situation or a shtick to make it work. And to me, I just say, yeah, I'll just have a fun day and play music for people and hopefully bring people to my show by talking about that. Aw, thanks, Kristen. Andrew at the Maypole is one of my favorite memories. That's awesome. Thank you. Ah, oh, and Alacia, that's totally true. I usually eat in the lanes too. What I do is I have my pack basket, and I have a small little cooler that has a that has a wooden bowl already made with meat and cheese in there, and I try to go all fancy and try some cool different cheeses so that I have some variety. And yeah, I have that, and then I'll have some. I usually have a thermos with tea, hot tea, and then I'll have one if my throat needs it. And then I'll have one with a smoothie in there that I make myself, a actual strawberry, banana, and grape fruit smoothie that I make, and they're great. Just that and water, the fruit and the water and ice. That's all. So yeah, I'm covered whether it's too hot, too cold, my throat needs it. I've got food, I've got carbs, I've got protein, good to go. Um, so yeah, yeah, I probably am the busiest musician at Sherwood, but I don't know. I think the way I started out at Faire was, um, oh wow, and she's saying I learned all that. Oh yeah, well the cheese and the way I eat, yes, not the smoothie, but the food, yeah, that was all Lee's advice. So thank you for that. But the way I started out at Faire, I what would happen is I was playing with Mark Gunn and with the Brobdingnagian Bards, and we would do a show, and then we've got 45 minutes to kill, or an hour or something. So we'd walk around, and when we walked, we played music. We got in that habit of we would just be wandering minstrels as we'd play, and if somebody would. Sometimes somebody in a shop would say, "Oh, hey, will you play in front of my shop?" And, okay, and we'd put out a hat and play for 30 minutes or so, and the shop would normally tip us, and we'd get some tips there, and then we'd wander on and keep going, and that was our day, and we just do that all day long, and it was a lot of fun, and we got to meet a lot of people that way, meet a lot of the shop owners, and it was just it was a lot of good time to do that. Oh yeah, the pack basket with the cooler too was Lee's idea. The pack basket, I borrowed one of Lee's pack baskets initially and was just flabbergasted by how several thousand years of technological evolution made that such a ridiculously good idea. Um, the pack basket has been improved on for thousands of years, and it's great. I will walk in parade with my pack basket on because sometimes I forget I'm wearing it, and when that happened, I was kind of like, I'm just gonna wear it because it's not a big deal. Um, it really isn't. If you balance it right, I mean, you evenly distribute the weight in it right, it is, it doesn't feel like it's much weight at all. So that's really the trick. Um, but yeah, that's why I love a pack basket. I don't know if it would be right for everyone, but for wandering minstrel I think it works great. And yeah, Kristen, I did kind of make the pack basket a part of my character, and didn't really start out that way, but I started to see it that way, and it became a part of me. And I've treated it like sort of like a setup. I mean, it carries my sign, my banner, and it works great. The problem was I had so many great plans for it last year, and all this stuff happened, so I didn't get to really explore all that. So maybe this year I'll get to explore some of the other options. So we'll see. Oh yeah, it's always good. Oh well, gosh, it's already after 8 here. Wow, I'm going on and reminiscing. Sorry about that, guys. Ah, yeah. Hmm. Oh, and don't worry, Susan. I will be doing a show soon. Shows through Life's Affair, shows on my own channel. Yeah, there's lots of stuff going on. So don't worry. And like I said, the reorganization, that's making all this possible. Time was not my friend last year, but this year, it's looking good. It's looking a lot more promising. This is a good year. Oh yeah, she already booked me for Gathering. Yeah, it's not that she threatened me, but it's fine. It's fine. We got it. Oh yeah, and Janine, do you know what? A couple of weeks before all of that went down, I had a St. Patrick's Day gig that got canceled, of course, last year, and I bought a new PA system, a really nice new PA system. Still have not used it. So yeah, it's. I hear you. I hear you on the zipper thing. I can relate a lot. It's a nice PA system. Oh man. But oh well. Oh well. Anyway, so this kind of went over time, went a lot longer than I was expecting. So thank you for spending a little time with me this evening, and as always appreciate it. And I love talking to you guys. Thanks for all the input and the suggestions and everything. So yeah, we will take a look at it, and thanks to Alicia and Lee for joining us here and taking notes and reminding me of all the things I'm sure I've forgotten already. And we'll take a look, and you'll see a lot of these things coming in the future. So keep an eye out. And yeah, let's look forward to this Thursday's show with Drunken Disorderly, and Friday's Shakespeare reviews with my favorite Shakespeare play of all time, Twelfth Night. So okay, so have a great evening. Hang in there, and remember that that a fair life is not always easy to achieve, but we're going to try it here every Monday night and bring you along for the ride. So take care, and I'll see you soon.